What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. Let's do something a little different today. Instead of me trying to head towards an answer, let's head towards questions. I don't have the answers on this one. It's one I struggle with. I have a lot of questions though, and maybe talking about them out loud will help. Maybe if you have an answer, you can reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is ECKZX. Either way, the quality of your solutions is based off of the quality of your questions. And like a good prompt engineer looking to align desired roles and desired goals with AI, I want to do the same with topics I have been struggling on. Which things I want to help with, which things I want help with. But I'm not sure how to go about it yet. The overarching question that I have is, how does change happen? Usually a realization, an epiphany, a breakthrough, an acceptance. These sound like all personal endeavors to me, like something you come to yourself. So the natural question I have in my own head is, can you help someone have a realization, a breakthrough? Can you lead them to an epiphany? Or can you walk them down the path of acceptance? Now, if you've heard my episodes before on the fact that you can't change anybody, I struggle with having to accept, while I know that I cannot change anyone, having to accept that I can't help them, maybe help themselves, change themselves. My initial instinct says no, that you can't, which is a painful initial instinct to sit with, because there are people I can clearly help in my own life if they accepted the help, if they did go down this road voluntarily, willingly, and maybe not in some general sense I can't help them, but even in some specific sense, like helping with the accounting or marketing of their business. Of course, help in deeper ways too, which are much harder to help anyone else with, without anyone wanting that help themselves. But regardless how deep or how shallow the topic is, how complex or how simple it is, no matter my competence, believability, relationship, rapport, none of it can sidestep the actual person and their own willingness to change, their own willingness to accept. And quite frankly, at times, I am really discouraged because the reality that people live is so affirmed and colored by their own experience that it is almost not even a conscious choice and visible to them on their own part that they are choosing to remain the same or not change. They don't see any other way of being. So you're not even trying to help or affect the person. You're trying to help them and affect them out of their own ideological construct of their identity, their personhood, the thing that they think they are, the story, the conditioning, which is not a small task, one that I don't even know if it is possible to do. There's obviously a part of me that believes it's possible because I have seen change happen. I have seen it in myself. I have seen myself be led to it by someone else. I have gone into new places having shed all that I knew before, entered as a student. But again, maybe I am allowing it. Maybe it does hinge all upon my own agreement to let myself be taken past what I know, to simmer my ego, to humble all that I identify with. Maybe it does require this agreement, but I know change is possible. So much of what you think is possible is limited by whatever you have been shown, experienced, or have been able to stretch your own imagination to. Is limited, yes, limited by what you think is possible. Because what you think is possible does not even encompass 1% of what is possible. Even if you are the most imaginative, you are still limiting yourself. So then you go your whole life walking around with a collection of possibilities, thinking that is the world, accepting your sliver of the possibility, accepting your measly ration of reality, thinking you must survive off the scraps that you know, when you don't see that behind your conditioned confinement is an oasis of opportunity. And ironically, in this case, it is the oasis that is real and the desert in your mind that is the mirage. You are parched, not because there isn't an abundant supply to satiate your thirst, but because you're standing at the tap trying to get your fill, bottlenecking the flow of the world meant for you. But telling you all this doesn't bring you to question your beliefs either, does it? The next instance that comes, you will default to your patterns. You won't even question if there is another way. How could you? If you aren't even aware of all the columns that went up throughout the years to support your current reality. You cannot see yourself. And unless you do see yourself, unless you could, then you could see the small trap that you have laid for yourself that you call your life, in the grand context of all that is available outside of it to also call your life. What you identify with so strongly keeps you from seeing what else is also out there to be identified. Do you know of a way that I can show you, so that you can see you without the colored glasses that you are so used to seeing you with, that actually keeps you from seeing all of you? We are all trapped in this. Even someone who is highly open to experiences and dissolved of all ego still constructs another, maybe a larger identity for them to inhabit, until even that becomes confining into the expansion of their full form. This is the play of the mind, landing you to the next most comfortable place, fooling you to think that you have it all figured out, have yourself all figured out, what works for you, what doesn't, what you're good at, what you struggle with. You think you know so much about yourself that it filters all the things that you then take on, all the roads you walk down or don't. It limits your entire being, your entire life. And only you can save you, it seems, if you can see yourself. And how can you see yourself while being blinded by yourself? Maybe someone else can show you you. But will you look or turn away? Because up until now, without this, unless you can tell me, I still don't have the answer of how does change happen? I love you, family. Stay true always. I'll see you on the next show.